Welcome to Legacy IS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about a very interesting event of world history that happened in China. It was one of the most important rebellion that has happened when China was basically controlled by colonial powers from all across the Europe. And this rebellion is what we refer as Boxer Rebellion. So Boxer Rebellion, this is also in the syllabus of world history in the UPSC mains examination. So having a brief understanding of this topic is definitely going to give you an edge in writing answer directly or indirectly in the UPSC World History General Studies 1 mains examination. So first of all, if you try to understand briefly what this revolution or rebellion was all about, so in simple terms, it was basically an uprising of the common people, uprising of the common masses against what we can say was what they perceived as influence, foreign influence more precisely, in various spheres of life such as religion, politics, as well as the trading. In the particular rebellion, when the fighting ensued between the colonial powers and the local population of China, the Boxers, the local native population of China, killed thousands of Chinese Christians because they were not only against the foreign influence, they were also against the conversion, or what we can say is a forced conversion by the colonial powers of the Chinese population into Christian religion. So thousands of Chinese Christians were also killed, and they tried to storm the foreign embassies that were located at time in the capital of China, Beijing. The siege lasted for almost 55 days, and it was during this time period the embassies basically were relieved by 20,000 colonial troops that were from various countries such as Japan, United States of America, as well as European countries. In the wake of rebellion, Chinese government was forced to sign what we refer as Boxer Protocol that actually and ultimately led to the end of thousands year of rule of the what we can say is the Chinese emperor. So, what was the background of this rebellion? So, first of all, this rebellion happened during the rule of Qing dynasty. The Qing empress was there, and she was the one who was in power when this rebellion happened. And the rebellion lasted somewhere between November 1899 to September 1901. Now, the term Boxer basically refers to the local population who considered themselves as a society of righteous and harmonious feasts. Basically, they were working, or they were basically attacking, rebelling against the increasing influence of foreign Christian missionaries and diplomats in what they believe to be the Middle Kingdom. And this is something that also was associated with their prestige, because the local Chinese population, basically what we can say the Han Chinese population, they thought that they are at the cultural center of the world. They are having the highest stage, highest level of civilization, and thus any kind of intervention by the foreign powers was considered as unholy by the people, and that is what led to the Boxer rebellion, as you can see. So if you look at the beginning of this rebellion, it has happened because initially there are colonial powers that already were working, they were benefiting a lot from the trade with China. However, gradually as the number of the colonial powers and the people from this what we can say European region started to increase there, the number of Christian missionaries started to increase there, as well as the number of diplomats and the people which they brought together with themselves also start to increase there. What local Chinese population started to feel was what we can say intrusive imposition of European and American beliefs on the local societal beliefs. And thus, since we have discussed before, the Han Chinese consider themselves as the center of the civilized world. They were the Middle Kingdom, and thus such a kind of intervention, and especially they were not only angry against this colonial power and the foreign powers, they were also very much angry against the Chinese government, Chinese empress to be more precise, because they thought that the Chinese government has completely failed in protecting local population from such intrusive imposition by the foreign powers. Not only that, the prestige of the Chinese empress and Chinese, what we can say, government also suffered a severe setback because they lost both opium wars, Opium War 1 and Opium War 2, that was waged between the European powers and the Chinese power. Now, in this regard, what happened? The ordinary people of China decided that they need to organize a resistance. Otherwise, gradually what will happen, all the Han Chinese will be converted into Christianity. They feared this, and also their own culture will be at a higher risk of being completely decimated away. Thus, in this regard, they formed a spiritualist, or what they can say as martial arts movement, which included many mystical or magical elements also to increase the popularity of this movement among the masses. And many people who followed Boxer resistance, Boxer rebellions, Boxer rebels basically. They believed that Boxers could themselves become impervious to bullets. That means even if the colonial army fire bullets upon these Boxer fighters, they will not be able to do any kind of harm. And thus the mass appeal of these fighters rose significantly enough among the rural population of China specifically. In this context, that time, as we have discussed, the China was ruled by Qing dynasty, and the Empress Dowager Cixi was the empress of China at that time. So Xi and other Qing officials were initially not very sure that how they should respond to the Boxer rebellion, how they should react to the Boxer rebellion, because they found themselves to be caught between two different powers. One was the local Chinese population who were engaged in the Boxer rebellion, especially the Han Chinese population, and second were the obviously foreign powers, the Western foreigners, the colonial powers. So how to basically what we can say is to navigate the this kind of situation where they are being attacked by both powers was something that was very difficult in the beginning of time. Eventually, however, Empress realized that foreigners posed a greater threat, because later on they can even try to capture her throne, even they can try to capture more and more landmass of the China. And thus finally Qing and the Boxers came to an understanding that we will fight together against the foreign colonial powers. And thus the Beijing government ended up supporting the rebels with the imperial troops as well. So many places were there where the colonial fighters were fighting against both the imperial army of the Qing dynasty as well as the local Boxer rebels. If you look at the outbreak of this rebellion, it began somewhere in what we can call as the Shandong province of the eastern China. And here the regions behind the particular outbreak can be attributed to three major factors. First was, as we discussed, the government was trying to modernize Chinese society, but it failed miserably. Second, the self-strengthening movement was strongly building up among the rural Chinese population. And third, in this time, the German Empire occupied the Jiangsu region of the China, and British occupied what we can call as the Weihai region of China. So as you can see from this map here, this region, this entire region from the coastline of Shanghai, we can see was occupied by British, and then German occupied this kind of what we can say is a coastal region. On the other hand, the northern part of China, northeastern part of China, where we have Manchuria that is situated, that was under the Russian control. If you look at the southern part of China, that is near the border of Burma, today's Myanmar, it was occupied by France. And then also nearby the island of Formosa, which we know today by the name of Taiwan, it was occupied by Japan. So several colonial powers were trying to carve out their sphere of influence, especially along the eastern coast of China, which was also a very fertile area due to the flow of rivers in the deltaic regions, plus accessibility to the ports, as well as we can understand that there was a lot of natural resources, especially coal, iron ore in this Manchuria region and southern region. So this was the large scale background we can stand during which we have the rebellion of the Boxer or Boxer outbreak, that rebellion outbreak that has happened. However, as you know, for every revolution, every rebellion, there is a long-term causes, and that is causing the grievances among the population, and then there are some immediate causes. So what was the immediate causes of the Boxer rebellion outbreak? So was basically what happened that a local court ruled in favor of giving a local temple over to the Roman Catholic authority for use as a church. As we have discussed in the beginning of the session, that the local population, Han population of ethnic Han population of China was very much against any increase in the influence of Christian missionary, any kind of conversion. So not only the conversion is being allowed, not only their sphere of influence is increasing, but now even the local Chinese court is ruling in the favor of Catholics against the local population, and their own temple is being converted into churches. So this served as a immediate cause of the outbreak of the revolution, and upset by this decision, the villagers of this area, who were also led by the Boxer agitators, attacked the church and killed the priest in that particular church. During the rebellion, several events happened. For example, if you talk about the Boxer fighters, as we have discussed, they fought along with the Imperial Army of China. They began attacking the foreign embassy that was situated in the Beijing and Tianjin region of China. In Beijing itself, embassies of powers such as Great Britain, United States, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Russia, and Japan, they were all located in an area that is referred as legation quarter near the Forbidden City. and across town, German envoy Clemens von Kettler was killed when he was trying to escape the wrath of Boxer rebels while he was trying to escape the city. Following day, Shiji, who was the Empress Qing Empress or Empress of China from Qing dynasty, she declared war on all of the Western powers. However, this war did not succeed because the regional governors refused to obey this particular order, and thus they did not participated in the larger war against the colonial power or against the foreign power. Otherwise, more bloodshed would have been recorded. So how the Western colonial powers responded to that? So first of all, as the number of fighters joining the Boxer rebellions, number of local population joining the Boxer rebellion kept on increasing, there was a attempt to form a coalition forces by combining the military at the, or we can say combining the personnel from all the countries such as UK, Germany, Russia, France, Austria, US, and Italy. And then the main objective of these coalition forces were they will march to the Beijing and lift the siege of this area where the embassies were situated, where the embassy personals were basically what we can say were being attacked by the Boxer rebels, and thus foreign diplomatic quarter will basically the Boxer rebels will be driven out of this foreign diplomatic quarter regions. The foreign troops thus went on an offense and defeated the Qing army as well as the Boxers, forcing Empress Sisi and the emperor to flee the Beijing only dressed as a simple pageant. And as the fall of Beijing became inevitable, Sisi sent Li Huangzhang to begin negotiation with the coalition forces, and it was during this negotiation Boxer Protocol was signed. Now, as per the Boxer Protocol, Empress agreed that she will make sure that 10 high-ranking leaders who were the main participant of the Boxer Rebellion or who have supported the Boxer Rebellions will be executed. And also, since the economic damages has happened due to this rebels, there will be payment of 4.5 billion tiles of silver as a war reparations. The imperial government defeat further weakened the Qing dynasty, as we have discussed. Already the trust, already what we can say, the prestige of the Qing Empire was doubtful among the people because they have lost the opium wars and they have failed basically to basically counter the increasing influence of the colonial powers. Thus, the prestige of Qing dynasty suffered a further setback, and this paved the way for the overthrow of the empire in year 1912. Also, during the fighting, 217 missionaries were killed, along with total 18,722 Chinese Christians, because the Han Chinese believe that these people who have converted to Christianity, they are also the enemy of the local population. The Allied victory, however, led to further partitioning of China, because once the colonial power understood that they are more powerful, they also started to increase the area which were under the control, with Russians occupying the complete Manchurian region in the north and Germans taking the entire province of Tsingtao in the east. If you look at the aftermath of the rebellion, though we can understand the just after the signing of the what we can say Boxer Protocol, for some time period, rulers and the nations survived this assault. The Boxer Rebellion really signaled the beginning of the end for the Qing Empire, and within 10 or 11 years, the dynasty would fall, and China's imperial history that can be stretched back to as long as 4,000 years would be over, and there is a what we can say a rise of a new kind of power which was based on the ideas of republicanism and socialism. So that is all about the Boxer Rebellion, its impact. I hope you understood about the particular concept in the world history. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with fellow aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more such content. Thank you very much.